Hello, welcome back again to another YouTube video. I'm a little worried because the camera keeps shaking a little bit, but hey, that's pretty on brand, so we're just gonna go with it. So today that was a weird look I just gave you. I was like, ah! Well, first of all, uh, yesterday I released my first two videos and I've just had so much positive feedback. A lot of people like posting saying they thought that it was really funny, that it's very enjoyable. And so first of all, to everyone who watched it and gave like positive feedback on it, thank you so very much. It honestly meant the world to me to go like reading through all the comments and like messages that you sent me. Today I received a package from Lane Bryant. So I got these really cute shorts, and they're just so darling. And so I was very inspired. So I went all out. I painted my nails blue to match them, and then I kind of decided that I wanted to do an eye makeup look with them. So for today, I'm going to be doing like a blue eye look. The main palette I'm using is going to be this BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis. As you can see from the inside, I do have some very definite favorites here. I absolutely love this highlighter, and it gets used so much that it's practically out. And then I really love this gold over here. As you can see, that one's getting pretty low in the pan. I'm really liking this blue here, right? And this one. However, neither of these is particularly light, so I am actually going to be pulling in a little bit of this nice yellow color here. And then maybe some of these tans. I cannot wait to get some mixing and matching going on, so let's jump into it. Man, I look gorgeous. Would you look at that beauty? As always, I'm going to start with the eye primer.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
So apparently the audio on my video just went cuckoo, in case you couldn't tell from that last clip. So in fact, let's go look at that last clip. So did you hear the ringing there? That literally was the entire middle portion of my video, which when I went back to rewatch it, I got very angry, and I have been working for hours trying to figure out how to get rid of it. And finally, I just said, I'm just gonna voice over the whole thing. So let's give this a try. I'm going to essentially be judging myself and making fun of myself as I go back through and watch this video and provide audio commentary for you all. So let's jump into this, because I gotta say, I'm actually pretty excited. Okay, so what I'm doing in this portion is tapping on my usual Urban Decay setter. And then here we see me doing the above crease with this beautiful shade called Canyon. And there I am checking myself out in the mirror, throwing on some lighter shades to help blend everything together. And there's me doing the other side, because you gotta have both sides even. And then again with the sand, keeping things even from side to side. This is something called Sandstone. It's this nice pretty orange shade I'd kind of completely forgotten. Okay, so one of the things I planned to do with this video was finally do a cut crease where I do the whole put on concealer, powder, all of that to give that nice clean cut for my shimmer eye. And I was so excited to show you guys my very simple process. And then this happened, so I decided, you know what, I'm still going to teach them the process. So I made this fun little infographic for you all to view. So let's go through my 3 basic steps for creating that cut crease. So the first thing that I do is put on the concealer. For this video today, I used a Juvia's Place concealer to create the base, so that essentially what you're doing is you're making your eyelid lighter. so that your shimmer or your light color will show up better. And then for me, I immediately set it with setting powder because I have very oily skin, especially my eyelids. And if I don't use the setting powder, my eyeshadow, my shimmer will just go all over my above crease where I keep my blend. So I have to use setting powder for me and my own skin types. And then finally, I put on the color, whether it's a matte light color or a shimmer. The last step is tapping on the color, of course. And if it is a shimmer, you'll want to use a setting spray with it because that will make sure that it stays in place and doesn't get on your above crease, and also just gives it a little bit of that extra pop. Okay, so the concealer I used today was the Juvia's Place concealer. For setting powder for this, I used my Peach Perfect setting powder. It smells like peaches, first of all, but also it works great. It's lasted for a couple years. I highly recommend it for you all. And then, of course, there's the last step we talked about, which is the color, where you take a light color. And as you saw there, I was using a light blue color, so I did spray that with some setting spray. Now you're going to see I put on my concealer and then immediately follow it up with the setting powder. So I wipe on the concealer on my eyelid, and then immediately I tap in that setting powder before I even open my eye because I don't want that concealer to smear to my above crease. So I wipe on the concealer, and then I immediately tap it in with some setting powder, and then I go in with the color, which remember we did spray that with the setting spray, so it's going to show up very nicely. And then the same process on the other side. Smooth on the concealer, tap on the setting powder to keep it in place so it doesn't smear in the blend, and then wipe on the first color. You know what, let's check in with the sound, shall we? Nope, still sucks. Let's continue on then. So for my middle of my lid, I'm using that turquoise color, and then on the outer lid I went in with that heat spring, and then I took some mineral to the inner eye, which you may be confused, rightfully, because you saw me spread on a color earlier. At first I spread on a very light blue color from another palette, but I kind of didn't like all of the colors there being blue, so I decided to mix it up and throw in some pink on the inner lid because that just seemed like the right thing to do in life. Here we have a cat catching its first sight of itself in a mirror, because I just look so confused right now. Okay, so for my smoke for this eye, because I always do some kind of smoke, I actually use that shimmer color up top. I usually try to keep my above crease all matte, but I used this shimmer color and I actually loved it. But because I wanted to use a darker color in addition, I actually pulled this one to the middle of the eye there, which you see me coming all the way across. And then here we see that I am putting in my darkest shade, which is the Prickly Pear. So I took a dark-ish shade and pulled it all the way across to like right above the middle of my eye. And then I took the darker shade and created that smoke there. And here I am applying my eyeliner as I've done in several videos. It's the House of Gaga liner. And then here you see me looking at how different my eyes look, one with liner and one without liner. And for some reason, I guess I wanted you all to look at my shirt, so I pulled the camera down to show you my shirt. I'm not sure what's happening there. More eyeliner on the opposite eye. I went off to do the rest of my face. So what I have left to do is brows, highlight. I already put on my falsies up top. Ardell Wispies 113 black. I need to do the under eye color, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so you can see the sound is still fuzzy, so I'm going to go back to voiceover. My next step is going to be the water liner, which I'm using this very light pink color for that liner. Oh my gosh, I love like the contrast of the blue nails against that pink. So then I always just take the pencil and run it along the waterline very gently, try not to poke myself. For the under eye, I just tap on the darkest color and complement it with one of the lighter colors. So there in the corner under eye, you saw me tapping on the Prickly Pear. And then underneath the rest of the eye, I took that shimmery red, the Heat. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the reddish one I put on before the prickly pear. That's what I lined my under eye with for color. For highlighter, I used this really pretty yellow shade called Bliss, and it really pops on my cheeks. And then I took it down the bridge of my nose there, between the two contour lines, and I took it across the tip of the nose to create that button nose appearance. I also used that shade to highlight my Cupid's bow and make my lips look bigger a little bit. For my eyebrow arch and my inner corners, I used that very light shade. Now, in an earlier video, I said I didn't own blush. I lied. I have this little sample one that I use from time to time, and it's NARS brand, and I believe the name of the blush is called Orgasm, and it's just this really pretty peachy coral looking thing, and I do occasionally use that sometimes because it is an actual blush. To apply blush, I just tap it along my cheekbone, but only at like the outer parts of the face. One final tap with the blender to make sure there aren't any harsh lines or colors that aren't blending well. For the lipstick, I'm using a Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick, and the color is, I think if I remember right, it's called Bronze Blood. And I was going to try to look it up to confirm the name, but apparently it is completely sold out by now. A few spritzes of setting spray. Mess with the hair. Dang, girl. Thank you all so much for bearing with me with all the craziness of this video and the audio mess up. But honestly, I mean, this is my channel. What the hell else did you expect to happen? It was a lot of fun though, and I think I found a good workaround for it, so I hope you enjoyed it.